going on, guys? Snag here, and it's time for a Vegas wrap-up, and I'm still buzzing, guys. What do you think about it? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on it. What do you think about the games? What do you think about the way it was shot? What do you think about, just the crowd, the stadium, the build-up, the everything? What do you think? Do you think it was a success? And just drop them in the comments, because I genuinely want to see what everyone thought about that. So I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on it. In this video, guys, we will just talk a little bit about that and give my thoughts on it. And then we'll also obviously get into the games and do a bit of a wrap-up and talk about the Seagulls, the Rabbits, and the Broncos. Did not look good, guys. Did not look good. But yeah, let's just get into Vegas first. Now, talking about when they announced this, I was like, ugh. Not because I thought it was a bad idea. I was just like, I don't know if they're ready. Like, I don't know if, I was like, I reckon I should concentrate on the game here a little bit. It's going so well, blah, 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 blah. But what a W for the NRL. Peter V'landys and Abdo, they're the true winners in this. Like, so many teams are so poor, so many games are so poorly run. But I'm telling you now, with these two dudes at the helm, NRL is in a great place. They are absolutely kicking goals. You just wait for these numbers to come out, and you just wait for the numbers on the ratings, and you just wait for the 2024 numbers to come out. This NRL is absolutely booming. Like, this is so huge. The numbers for this are going to smoke every sports round one by an absolute mile. And those guys need their flowers, because Jesus Christ, I don't want them to leave. Like, please help. Pay those guys as much as they want. Let's keep them in the game for as long as we can, because they are absolutely kicking goals. NRL players getting paid more than ever. Viewership's up. Even the one thing that has been poor with the NRL is attendance. That was up 25% last year, and I dare say it's going to do that again this year. So, just absolutely brilliant. And not only that, the attendance, 40,000, 41,000, I believe it was in the end. I know some people, of course, a lot of AFL fans, they couldn't even fill a stadium over there. Bro, they're only expecting 30,000. They got an extra 11,000 people to the game. Not only that, everyone that I've spoken to that went are like, we're going every year. And everyone that didn't go, well, my mates were like, we're going next year. I reckon they're going to fill it next year. Like, because everyone wants to go back. Everyone that didn't go felt like they missed out. And next year is going to be even bigger. And obviously the biggest thing is, and this is what a lot of people didn't understand, is it got played on FS1. 100 million people have FS1. That, obviously 100 million people won't watch it, but what you got to realise is every single sports bar in America has at least one TV with FS1 on it. Like, that means that this thing was played in like millions of sports bars all across America. That is so damn cool, man. And obviously a few ears would prick up and a few people would be watching it, and absolutely, bro, I cannot wait to see the numbers for that. And yeah, what a way to sort of introduce our game to the States. It was just absolutely brilliant. And that is going to become a monster. That is going to be so big next year. I absolutely cannot wait. So yeah, like I said, congratulations NRL, congratulations to the teams, congratulations to the CEO and the chairman. That was sick. That had grand final vibes for both of them. I had goosebumps watching it. Like, I had goosebumps in there going, they're playing on the same field as their Super Bowl, man. Wow, absolutely wow. Yeah, I'm buzzing. I'm buzzing. All right, let's get into the games, guys. Now, first we had Seagulls Bunnies. Now, so I actually, on my bets, I actually put down the Bunnies and this Roosters, but in my tips I got them both wrong, actually. We had Rabbitohs and we had Broncos. Now, we did hit our try scorers in this, Saab and Alex Johnson, so that was great. But yeah, I'll tell you what, I had a feeling, if you follow my TikTok, you know that I put down every single outsider to win round one, and we're off to a good start, and it's paying out 13 grand as well, so fingers crossed you lads are on that. 6 to go, we're at 13 grand, lads. We'll see how we go, but man, I tell you what, this was a real funny game. If we see where the tries are all sort of scored here, it was, Bunnies, and then it was sort of going try for try, and then Bunnies went try, and then the Seagulls just blitzed at the end of the game, absolutely cooked them. It was crazy, like absolutely crazy. Now, this game was like the definition of a game of momentum. Like when the opposition team had the momentum, the defensive team, like the offensive team had momentum, the defensive team could not contain them from both sides. Like this was almost like offense was too good for defense, and whoever had the ball sort of looked better. Um, but Jesus Christ! So the way the game panned out for me, I was like, Seagulls are on top here. They're going to blitz them. Their forward pack looked faster, looked bigger, looked more mobile. They were hitting harder. They were dumping the bunnies. I mean, Jai Arrow got caned on the first set. Like, he looked like he was gone. And then there was head clashes. It was just bang, bang, bang. And then I felt like once the bunnies got their first try, I was like, oh, they're going to run away with this. And then, and then it came back. And then the first two tries in the second half, who was it? It was Latrell and Alex Johnson scored, bang, bang. I was like, bunnies are going to skittle them here, and then Seagulls just went on with it. Like, I've got to give, unfortunately, Saab going down with a hamstring, that absolutely sucks, man. Absolutely sucks. Hopefully it's not too long. Luckily, pretty much have 12 days before their next game, and then hopefully he's only misses a few weeks. We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully it's just more of a twinge than a snap, but we'll have to wait and see. But the physicality in this game was brilliant, and man, I said I did in my preview version. I think Seagulls could finish top four. They showed you why. That forward pack is for real. Wait till they get Simply back in the middle. They're going to be tough to stop, man. Their forward pack absolutely collected that Bunnies forward pack, and that Bunnies forward pack wasn't playing around either. So for them to do that, they're going to cook a lot of teams' forward packs. And when Paseka came back on, he looked sharp, man. So absolutely brilliant. We'll have a look at some of the stats here, guys. Both teams completed relatively well, 78 and 80%. But yeah, just look at this meters battle, guys. Seagulls absolutely cooked them here, man. Like, dominated the post contact, and look at the average set distance, almost full 10 meters extra, sort of thing. They won the offload battle 8-4. What else have we got here? Fisher tackle seed, not perfect from each team, but that can happen in a first game. And both teams play pretty expansive sort of thing, and both teams about 40 missed tackles. But this was the one for me. Seagulls only conceded one penalty, and I know Rabbitohs fans will probably blow up at that. I didn't think they gave penalties. They did give a few 6-agains, but Manly did a really good job of not giving penalties. Like, they were great. They'd tackle hard and get off. Tackle hard, get off. It was great. There was no Nathan Brown, I think, had one. But yeah, besides that, it was absolutely brilliant. So the battle between Turbo and Latrell, as brilliant as Latrell was, I think Turbo definitely got him. Battle of the halves, I mean, Luke Brooks was just good and really, really good. I mean, he looked a little nervous at the start. He threw a bit of a stink. I think it was the first half. He threw a bit of a stinker of a pass trying to spread the ball when he shouldn't have. But besides that, he looked, I've said it for 2 or 3 years now, Luke Brooks is a Robin. And at Manly, he can be a Robin. He doesn't have to go skits. He just runs when there's space, go down the short side when they've got an overlap. It's just, he's there. I thought LAA and Paseka were brilliant. Ben, great. Jake was pretty quiet, but I really, I've always thought Nathan Brown was super underrated. Like, bring him off the bench. He's the sort of guy, right, where you can bring him on in the middle, and he can change the momentum. But if he's not, you can just pull him off anyway. Like, you just give him a 20-minute stint and put whoever back on. But he played so good, and he was carving up through the middle so much, you can just leave him in because he's that sort of guy. He's really good, man. I heard a bit of trash talk about him during the week. People were saying, if he's in the 17, they're not a great, they don't have much depth. I'm like, bro, like, he was one of Parramatta's best for a long time. Like, he's handy, man. He's handy, So yeah, I thought it was great. Now just on to, and just special shout out to Olakau'atu. Like, that's how we want him to play, not we. Seagulls fans want him to play. Get his hand on the ball. We'll go through his stats in a minute, but get his hand on the ball as much as possible. He can go missing a little bit like David Taylor, David Fafita. He can go missing a little bit. You know what I mean? You're sitting there going, bro, you're the most dangerous guy in the park. Why are you taking 8 carries? Sort of thing. And I thought he had Kilamatangi's number. Totola was good. Their forwards were good and strong. I just thought the Manly one, forward pack was a bit better. Jai Arrow was all right. Cam Murray was all right, but biggest weakness for me for the Rabbitohs, and they're obviously missing Graham and what's his name? The guy they just brought over. You guys know who I'm talking about. Jeez, it's early in the year. But yeah, Tass and Kenner were not good. Gagai, not great. Johnson's not going to light you up. You know what I mean? He's just gonna finish well, sort of thing. And but yeah, it was pretty crazy, man. But I thought the Trill was pretty damn good. I mean, if you have a look at him, 177 metres, 17 runs, that's brilliant. 45 post contact, a line break, 2 line break assists, 2 try assists. That's great. That's so brilliant, man. And then you look at the rest of the numbers, there's nothing crazy going on. I mean, Richard Kenner had 2 line breaks, but obviously that was sort of try ones. But yeah, it's pretty, nothing really jumps out at you other than the Trell. And then we move on to the Sea Eagles. I mean, look at Turbo, 221 metres, 71 post contact. He was just busy. Line breaks, 1 line break assist, 2 try assists, 4 tackle breaks. That's just class. Jason Saab, 248 metres. Ruben Garrick, 214 metres. Wow, this is nice. And even like look at this from the if he can give this every week, 19 runs, 102 metres, a line break assist, chuck a try assist in there. If he does that every week, and Turbo stays healthy, they're going to be a top 4 team. They really are. They're good. They're stacked. And then check out this from Olakau'atu. 16 carries. That's perfect. You don't do more than that. You don't want to get tired and be a liability on defense. 180 running meters, 95 post contact, line breaks 1. That's just, and he got a try as well. That's brilliant. So obviously you have to tidy up this is the thing, they did leak 24 points, and I know people will say that, but Bunnies are pretty good at scoring points, eh? Not everyone's got Latrell Mitchell and Cody Walker sweeping around the back. So I wouldn't be overly worried about that if I was a Manly supporter. I'll be more like, we put 36 points on the Bunnies. That's pretty damn brilliant. That catch and pass that Latrell did, I don't know any other fullback that can do that, you know, so you could almost take 6 points off that. And then, Latrell's kicking boot was a little bit off, but yeah, absolutely brilliant game. Great first game to show the USA fans. It was up and down, there was speed on the edges, there was hits, there was head knocks, it was absolutely brilliant. All right, let's switch gears. I'm going to need a drink for this one. Roosters, Broncos. Let me know what you think about this one, guys. I thought it was a great game. I really did. From both teams. I thought both teams were actually pretty good. What we've got to remember here, guys, this is round 1. Round 1's normally absolutely terrible, man. Like, it was pretty damn good. I was pretty damn impressed with all 4 teams, like for a first hit out. And just remember, barely any of these guys played trials or played very limited minutes in trials. So this was really shortened pre-season sort of thing. Not pre-season, just shortened prep for the players. It really was. So I was actually really impressed with both teams. Roosters middles absolutely blitzed the Broncos. Broncos middles. All right, so for me, this was a massive L for Kevy Walters. Kevy Walters messed this game up big time. I've been pretty critical of his coaching in the past. I thought he was really good in the second half of last year, but the year before that and some of the things he did at the start of last year, I mean, we've heard players come out and say, what the hell's he doing? Like, we've never heard that before. And obviously in the second half of the year, everything was going perfectly, so there wasn't a whole heap to coach, but I still have little question marks over his coaching because tonight was really, really bad. So for me, starting Marty Tapau, when you have Xavier Wilson there, who just looks like the next big thing. And that's me saying that. I never overhype young props coming out of Brisbane because I know they're normally overhyped and overrated. He's legit. And then you put in Marty Tapau, who's 35, way over the hill, barely gets game time, barely played any games last year. Massive L. And then you lose Piakura early. You put to me, Pat Carrigan is Broncos' best middle, probably a top 5 middle period. You put him out wide and bring a prop on. They just lost all their punch immediately. Like, they just completely lost their punch. The middle it didn't look soft, but it just didn't look as good as it did last year. Like, at no point was like, man, this is flimsy defense from the Broncos middles. It wasn't like it was flimsy. It just didn't have that bang, stopping people in their tracks, putting them on their back. And then not only that, in attack, he put Payne Haas. He was running really, really wide. Now, that to me is just complete opposite of what they did last year. Last year they were like a piston. It went Payne or Carrigan, flag, boom, 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 and they'd just roll up through the middle. So essentially what they had this game is Paddy out wide, Payne running wide on another. And those bigger, because he's not fast because he's big, those big, slow guys are really easy to chop down out wide. Like big Val Meninga, right? You watched him in the middle. He was just brushing blokes. Then the first game he got put out wider. It's just like when someone's running big and slow and you chop them from the side, they're quite easy to put down. It's when they're running directly at you and you go boom, and you just can't contain them because they're so big and they walk you for another post contact. I think Payne Haas got put in his back more tonight than he did all of last year. Like, he was on his back getting like slow play the balls for the first time. It happened more in this game than I've ever seen in any other game. But dead set, I think it happened more in this game than it happened all of last year. Like, that's how many times Payne Haas got dead set put on his back. And if you look at, and this is the problem too with Payne, and if you've been following me for a while, you know I've been saying this for a while. So he played 70 minutes, which is up from what he normally plays, and he ran for way less. So what I'm saying is right, because the numbers are right here. Way less, and now he only ran for 132. So he played more minutes, ran for less metres. This is the problem too, being so reliant on Payne. Payne clearly needed a break, and he just couldn't give it to him because they were down. And he knew if the second he came off that there was going to be metres for the Roosters in the middle, or they were going to end up losing the ruck real quickly. This is why I think, Kevy, it's just another L. Just because Payne Haas can play a full half of footy doesn't mean you should. Like, give him a break, bro. Even if you just bring him off with 12 minutes to go in the half. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, what are you doing? Like, a fresh Payne Haas is a scary Payne Haas. You bring Payne back on when people are fatigued, and he's fresh. He's going to do more damage. It's almost like being scared. Like, being scared to sort of to lose the middle. So you just press the play button on your best middle and hope for the best. Hopefully you can get through. But Payne, to me, not for 1 second looked dangerous. He was good. He wasn't bad at all. It was just too many minutes. And this is the thing. I was pretty critical of Payne Haas, not last year, the year before. But I kept putting and I don't think it's his fault. He's been played for too long. Like, he's just, bro, I'll take Moses Leota and Fisher Harris's 48-minute performance over a Payne Haas 65-minute performance, because for those 48 minutes, they are damaging. You know what I mean? Like, a middle forward can't be damaging for 65 minutes. You know what I mean? There are periods where he's not as damaging. And like I said, I think you'd get so much more out of Payne you don't pay him for 48, but 55 minutes. Like, he can do 55 minutes and he'll be fresh, way more devastating, all that sort of stuff. But like I said, it looked like Kevy was scared to pull him off, because even with him on, the Roosters were still winning the middle. So imagine what happens if he goes off and you got like Palacia, or who was the other guy, Jensen and Marty Tapau in the middle. They would have got skittled. So definitely some problems there. So the question was, with the Broncos, how are they going to handle without Herbie and without Fleggs and without Catewell? Not a great start. It wasn't bad. Like I said, I'm not sitting here writing the Broncos off. They're going to win a lot of rugby league games this year. But yeah, definitely something to work on, because that was definitely not the right play. Now, a lot of this was because the Roosters were so good. The Roosters middles, Lindsay Collins was brilliant. Spencer was all right. I wasn't like overly impressed. And apparently Ezra Mann put a formal report in him for a racial slur. It's a little bit strange, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how that pans out. Hopefully it was a misunderstanding. Never want to see anything like that in the game. But yeah, Tedesco was so good. I thought Tupou was good. Suoliti versus Katoni Staggs was sick. Like, sick. Uh, Manu on Selwyn was a great matchup. Ezra Mann, shocking pass to start with. But it was a solid game from him. He looked a little rusty. I hope he's not going to suffer from that bursting onto the scene and then getting the big payday and sort of putting it back in, putting it in cruise control sort of thing. I thought Adam Reynolds' middle kicking game he kept kicking the ball straight up and down. I thought his kicking game was well below average. Ezra Mann had a couple stinker kicks as well. Billy Walters a bit average. Payne and Tapau, they were okay. They weren't bad. I thought Pat Carrigan did as good a job as he could in a position he's not used to. Piakura got knocked out. I was actually pretty impressed with Jordan Riki. I've been pretty negative on him his whole career. But I thought he did a great job of locking down his opposite number, and I actually thought he was pretty good. Like, he had a few nice lines run and stuff like that, so I thought he was pretty damn good. Fletcher Baker did even get on. I didn't remember even seeing him. Tyson Smoothie, Jensen, Kobe Hetherington had a stinker of an error. Tyrrell May looked really good when he came on. White did too, and Sandon Smith looked super sharp. The Roosters bench was substantially better than Broncos. Definitely. All right, so we'll have a look at some team stats and some player stats, guys. We'll go player stats first. Yeah, we already touched on Payne. Definitely not the. Like I said, great 8 tackle breaks. 132 meters. That's really good for a lot of front rowers. But yeah, like I said, Moses and Fish do that in 48, and every tackle hurts the other opposition. And yeah, definitely they've got some stuff to work out there. I actually thought Jesse Arthurs was brilliant. Look at that, 195 run meters, looked really solid in the air. He made one boo-boo, but that happens. Line break, try assist as well for him. Reece Walsh, I thought. This is the thing about the Broncos too, and why they're going to be just fine and win plenty of games this year. It doesn't matter where they are in the park. You swing the ball from one side and have Reece sweeping out the back. Like, they look dangerous attacking 10 metres from the halfway line. So they're 10 metres till the halfway line. Reece Walsh will swing, boom, get to an outside guy, create an overlap like that. So that's why they're always going to be in a game. Broncos will be in every rugby league game this year. That's just off that. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. But not a whole heap else going on for the Broncos. I thought Pat Carrigan was, like I said, pretty damn solid. But yeah, Payne's numbers way down. We didn't get to see much of Piakura. Jensen, 93 metres. So not many metres going on here for the forwards. You look at, there's really... just like I said, Paddy and Payne, and I think Paddy averages about 150, but Payne's way down on his normal numbers. I think he averaged 190 last year. So, but look, these numbers here are not too bad. These guys definitely but they're going to have to step those up. Like, I need Reece, I need Katoni Staggs and Selwyn Cobbo pushing 150 every game. Dean Mariner I thought was pretty damn solid, but. Yeah, that's that they're gonna have to find those meters that Herbie left out, that Flegler left out, because yeah, they definitely got beaten there. This is one of those ones where I felt like Broncos almost got beaten everywhere. There wasn't many things other than like maybe Reece looking super dangerous, but even that I thought Teddy was far better than. If we look at the matchups, as great as Reece was and as dangerous he looked, Teddy was better. The outside, so Tupus versus Ponga. It's like Tupes is the best winger, you know what I mean? And then Joey Manu and Asako were definitely better than Katoni and Cobbo. We go to the halves. Kiri and Walker were both better than Ezra Mann, and forward rotations, Lindsay and Spencer definitely got the better of those two. Brandon Smith was substantially better than... Well, they sort of got beaten all over the park here. That was the little bit of the worrying thing for the Broncos. It wasn't like there was one little thing they need to fix up. They pretty much got beaten from 1 to 13 and the bench, so 1 to 17 really. So definitely some work to do there for the Bronx. But like I said, it's a work in progress. It's game 1. It's not worth panicking. But completion 70% now. Broncos showed last year. Like I said, they kept completing at about 75 to 78% last year. And I was like... At the start of the year, I don't know if that's going to be good enough to win a comp, but they just were so dynamic, it didn't matter. But like I said, you definitely do want it over 80 if you can get it. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But running meters about the same, both bang on 1700. Post contact, Broncos got them there a little bit. For a team with Reece Walsh, Selwyn Cobbo, and Ezra Mann, one line break, it's a little troubling. That is definitely a little troubling. Like we all say, the forwards lay the platform and your backs go off it. And if your forwards aren't laying that platform, it is harder to get line breaks. So, and Roosters won the tackle breaks as well, 43-31. Average set distance, Broncos definitely got them there. Roosters did win the ruck. I definitely felt like they were. Didn't, very close still. No real difference there at all. What else we got here, guys? Kick defusal. But yeah, effective tackle 84. That definitely needs to get better. 43 missed tackles and 20 ineffective tackles. That's just not good enough. You definitely want this sort of over 88 if you can. They weren't brilliant either. They missed 31 themselves, but they just missed less tackles, and then you got your errors. You got 14 errors, so definitely a lot to work on for the Broncos, man. Definitely not panic stations. I wouldn't be sounding the alarm or try to fire Kevy just yet. They'll be just fine. But yeah, like I said, they're pretty much the way I look at that Broncos team tonight. If they play like this, if they play like that every week, or even just slightly better, slightly worse, week in, week out, they'll probably lose to the top 4 teams every time, but they'll beat the lower teams every time and scrape into the 8. That's what they look like to me. They look like a team that would finish 7th. That's sort of what they look like to me. But like I said, they've got a lot to figure out. And and as far as the Roosters go, they look sharp, man. Like, just think they had Dom Young and Billy Smith out for this game. To get them back, they're gonna be scary good, absolutely scary good, guys. So super exciting, guys. Vegas, absolute W for the NRL, absolute W for all the teams. Like I said, the CEO, the chairman, every single fan that went over there. You should be super proud of yourselves. And Rugby League really did us proud. It really did do us proud. I'm really, really stoked for everyone involved. And what a W for the NRL. What an absolute W for the NRL. So just to wrap up, guys, Sea Eagles looking scary. Bunnies, I think once they get their outside backs, Jack Whiten and Graham back, obviously Graham's going to be longer than thing. I think they'll be just fine. They showed glimpses of being top 4. Roosters look well and truly top 4 if they play like that and keep dominating teams through the middle. And Broncos, a little bit of work to do, but still, I think they're going to be just fine as well. I'm not too worried about the Broncos right now. But hey, like I actually said, because just obviously I live in Brisbane, right? Just so everyone knows, maybe you're not from Brisbane, they've been getting pats on the back all year here. Everyone's telling them how great they are. Everyone's telling them how they're going to win the comp this year. Got to lose one to win one. That's what happened to Penrith. They went on to win 3. You guys are a dynasty, blah, blah, blah. And I think getting punched in the mouth early, like I was sort of like, if the Broncos actually want to go good this year, they're probably better off losing like 2 or 3 games out of their first 3 or 4 games and just going, okay, we actually have to play footy to win here. Like our fans telling us and all the media telling us how good we are is not going to win us a game. We actually have to go win the game. So I sort of thought losing a couple games early might be good for the Broncos. Like I said, living in Brisbane, man, these guys just get like double wristed from the media. Everyone's telling you how great you are everywhere you go, and so getting punched in the mouth early by a couple teams might be the best thing for the Broncos, where they actually have to go back and go, oh, we're not that great. We're not above anyone here. We're going to go win this thing. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that's it, lads. Thank you all so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.